Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the My Journey podcast, the place where I document my freelance journey. This is once again a solo episode recorded primarily for my YouTube channel, but distributed across all the various podcasting platforms as well. Today's topic is why I chose to specialise in social media for my freelance journey. I've spoken about why I got into freelancing back in episode 32 of the My Journey podcast, so do go and check that out if that's what you want to find out about. But today I'm going to be delving more into why I picked social media as my specialism, given I have a more general marketing background at the point where I became a freelancer. Before I get into today's topic though, I thought I'd give you a quick update on where I am in terms of my journey and what's been happening. If you're watching it on YouTube, you may have noticed a slightly different lighting setup. That's because I've decided to invest in what is called a beauty LED light. I don't know if it's making me look any better, but you know, it was worth a little bit of an investment. It's got a tripod as well that came with it, which means I'm not now precariously balancing my phone and everything on top of boxes and books and stuff. So yeah, a little bit more professional. Also, in terms of the actual business side of things, this week I've got a personal branding workshop coming up, which I'll be delivering for a company and their employees. And hopefully if that goes well, there is talks about me working with their staff on a one-to-one basis going forward and helping them develop their individual personal brands, instead of just delivering the workshop as I have done to businesses before and walking away and letting them do it themselves. I'm going to work with them in like a coaching capacity to help them build that up. But that's coming up this week, so I'll update you on that once Tom's back around the mic in episode 37 next week. But yeah, that's a quick update on where I am in terms of my journey and what's coming up. So I think the next thing is to jump straight into today's topic, which is why I chose social media as my specialism. Now, I think the first thing to talk about is whether or not I believe you should specialise. I know quite a few people who have done digital marketing as like their freelance journey, or even marketing as a whole. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing to offer those services, but I think you really do need to specialise to start off with, so that people know what they're coming to you for. Now, if I said I was a marketing freelancer, what are they actually coming to me for? Are they coming to me to run a print campaign, an out-of-home campaign, a PPC campaign, or a social media campaign? Like, by having social media, I can then talk to them around other things, and if that's right, I can go to maybe a more specialist freelancer and speak to them about their offering and bringing them on board, or I can help them with it in my capacity if I feel it's right to do so. But by having social media as my specialism, it kind of opens up them conversations from a search point of view. When people are looking for a social media expert or a freelancer, they will Google that. So they're going to hopefully find me, rather than if I was just marketing, I would have to compete with everyone in every industry and the specialists. And also it gives people a reason to talk to me about the specific thing. I don't think a lot of people want marketing. They tend to want a specific area. They want to rank better on Google. They want their social media to be more engaging. They want to do a leaflet drop, whatever it is, then they know that what they're coming to me for. So there are two reasons really. I've been trying to pick my brain and my memory about why I chose social media in particular, and I believe there's really two reasons. And the first of those was spotting a gap in the market, really, and I think that's where all good business ideas come from. And I was working on a project at Hull 2017 called the Make It Happen campaign, and we were helping local health and wellbeing charities with some of the stuff that they were doing in terms of social media and their marketing. And one area we found that we could provide a lot of value in and make quite a big impact in a short period of time was within the area of social media. So I'd seen that and seen that these smaller health charities were needing it. Now, they don't necessarily have budget to pay for somebody like me, so it wasn't necessarily that made me go for social media. It was when I started looking around it a bit more, and I started looking around my local area where I live and thinking about the social media presence of the businesses I interact with. And again, there wasn't really much there. So I did a little bit of market research and spoke to a few business owners about what their thoughts were on social media, why they don't engage with it, and all that kind of thing. And I realised that small businesses really struggle to get any presence on social media because of two main reasons. One, they didn't know what they were doing, and two, the people that could potentially help them, the agencies, were far too expensive. So they were kind of just not doing anything. Now, there are the generation that's grown up with social media, and a lot of the businesses that are owned by that generation do well on social media because they know what it is that needs to be done. But there are a lot of businesses out there who don't know how to build a social media presence and use it as an effective tool for their business. And that's where I kind of saw the gap in the market and a foothold to grow upon. So I knew that small businesses don't have the budgets to necessarily take me to where I want to be, but it was a great entry into the market. I can start working with them, make some real difference to their business, then use them as case studies to try and build to the point where I could hopefully attract bigger businesses. And I'm kind of on that journey now, stepping it up gradually as I go along. So yeah, the first reason I chose to specialise in social media is because I believe there was a gap in the market. Before I go on to the second reason, I just wanted to say, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform or you're watching on YouTube, it would mean the absolute world if you could subscribe to the podcast. One step further, like the videos, leave us a review, that kind of thing. Whatever it is you can do on whichever platform you're listening, please do that, because it really does help us grow the podcast and it just makes it all worthwhile. So yeah, please subscribe, leave a review, like the videos, all that kind of stuff. Brilliant. So on to reason number two, which was when I went into social media, it definitely wasn't a new thing. I started freelancing in 2018, so yeah, definitely not a new thing. But I still thought it had so much potential for growth. There were so many opportunities there. I'd seen even some of the big boys weren't really taking it seriously or using it effectively or creatively. And that really excited me, that there was still so much scope to do so much more with it. So that's why I thought it was the best place for me to specialise, because through university we did a lot of different projects and real life assignments and briefs, and a lot of my work came back onto social media because I really felt that was where there was the biggest gap in the market for other businesses to exploit in terms of their own marketing efforts. Also, as I've spoken about in a recent blog post, it is value for money, is social media, because it's accessible to absolutely every business. You can start paid advertising campaigns for as little as £1 per day on Facebook. And if you're looking at like a print campaign or a out-of-home campaign or anything like that, it's going to cost a hell of a lot more than £1. And that's why I thought, I've seen that there's a gap in the market in terms of small businesses that are using this. I know I can charge fees that would make me competitive with the bigger agencies who have got all the different services under their roof. And there's ways we can build upon organic with the small businesses in an affordable way. So it was all kind of knitting together quite nicely. And alongside that, the reason why I thought it was exciting was, as again I've mentioned in a recent blog post, the amount of time consumers are spending on social media is increasing. So a recent stat was that there's been an increase in 22% in time spent on social media between 2016 and 2019. So, a 20% increase in time spent on social media, and it's probably going to continue to grow over the next few years. There's a study that came out during lockdown that said, I think it was 47% of people have been using social media more and intend to carry on using it more after the whole COVID situation has passed. So it just shows that there's real room for growth. People are spending more time, which means that more content is needed. People are needing more stuff to fill their feeds, more stuff to entertain them. So there's real opportunity to engage with your ideal customer. And also, because of the value for money and it being accessible in terms of cost, social media is a great place to be creative and to be reactive. you can't run an out-of-home campaign that reacts to Boris Johnson's announcement on the Tuesday evening. Social media allows you to do that, allows you to see something, react to it, be one of the first out there, and have a really cool campaign off the back of it. Also, you can test something in an organic post, and if it doesn't work, you let it slip by. But if something does work, you can then double down on it and go for it, putting some paid advertising behind it, and even turn it into maybe an out-of-home campaign or a print campaign. Whereas you can't really test with out-of-home because it costs so much. You've got to go for it and just trust that your idea works. You can do market research and stuff, but again, that's going to cost time and money. You can literally try stuff out. You can see some of the big brands. I really like some of the stuff KFC does. I believe they're always testing new ideas on their social media. They're always putting new types of content out there, different types of posts, different types of engaging questions and thought-provoking kind of stuff. And I believe it's because of testing. And when they find that something works or gets a reaction, they will then do it again in a different way and double down on it. So yeah, that's really the second reason why I felt that social media was the space for me to move into, because it had the opportunity there. It was a creative place and it was still exciting. I felt like a lot of the stuff had been done in other areas and it was a lot more traditional, whereas this is a lot more modern, a lot more forward thinking, in my opinion. Now, you may disagree with that, so if you do, please do let me know. I'd love to have a discussion about these kind of things. Do you feel that social media is an exciting place, is a modern place, is a place that you can test and be creative? Or do you think that's better suited to other areas of marketing? I don't know. Let me know what you think. But yeah, they're the main two reasons I chose to get into social media, because there was a gap in the market and there were the opportunities there to be creative, which is what I ultimately want to be doing with clients. So yeah, as I say, let me know your thoughts on these, whether that's via comments on this or reaching out to me on social media. I'm at the MJ Social on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. As ever, if you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, either in these solo episodes, you've got a question, maybe you want to become a freelancer. What's your question about freelancing? Let me know and I'll try and answer it. Or if you've got a more general business topic that you want us to cover, let me know and I can pass it on to Tom and we can discuss it in one of our joint episodes potentially. Whatever it is, please do reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you guys and build the content around what you're looking for. But yeah, that's everything for today. Until next time, thanks for watching.